my name's Hazel and I'm going to tell you about our plant of the week for this week. Here we have Hylotelephium. You're looking at me like you're mad. That's not what they are, these are sedums. Yes, they are, but they've been renamed. I'm not sure why, but now they're called Hylotelephium. Many nurseries and garden centres, they haven't gone over to the new name yet because they're still working their way through all their stocks of labels, so most of them will still be labelled as sedum. These are succulent leaves, so they're quite thick and fleshy leaves, and that tells you that these are really drought tolerant plants. They like a really dry and sunny place in your garden. They are fantastic for pollinators, really nectar rich flowers. The only one here that's actually opened its flower is this one here. The rest of them are all still in their really tight buds, so they're just about to come out. And they create these flat topped areas of clusters of flowers which are fantastic for hoverflies but also bees and butterflies, and they'll keep flowering for another couple of months yet, and as the flowers die they'll just kind of become a sort of browny kind of colour, and they'll stand through the autumn and even into the beginnings of the frosts. They'll have a lovely effect and they're fantastic for your garden. They prefer a neutral to alkaline soil rather than an acid soil, and it has to be really free draining, otherwise in the winter you'll just lose them from rotting. So dry, like a gravel garden would be really good, chalky soils are really good, and places like that, but you can also grow them in a pot. So the varieties I've got here, they're quite shorter varieties, some will go up to about 40, 45. There are some that will get to about 60 centimetres as well. Sedum matrona is possibly one of those ones, but I haven't got that one here. You can get variegated leaves, these dark coloured leaves, green leaves. This one here, if this was in a fuller sun, it would have a much redder tint to the outside. And their flowers tend to be reds, pinks, whites and yellows. Now they can flop if they're in really fertile soil, so they can kind of get a bit floppy on and flop outwards and leave kind of a gap in the middle. And actually these are one of the plants that you can give a Chelsea chop to in late May. That will reduce the height of them and it will prevent them flopping out if your soil is a little bit more fertile. If your soil is less fertile, quite poor, then you're probably less likely to have a bit of flop. They're really actually very hardy so long as they're on well-drained soil. They'll go down to minus 20 degrees, but any too much moisture in the winter and they won't survive. So fantastic for well-drained soil, full sun, brilliant for pollinators, really good garden plants.